What's going on, everybody? Welcome back for another episode of the Crane Kicks Lex podcast. We finally have dual soccer. Men's team,
Yeah.
women's team playing both in season. Yes. Like, I absolutely love it. Like, sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, how do I watch all the soccer all at once? And then I'm like, you know what? That just sounds like a real lame problem to complain about. That's the best thing ever.
I
So
think it's pretty
no.
easy. All you have to do is get a Monster energy drink on your way home from the first
yeah,
home game, and then you
shotgun it.
stay up to watch the second away match. So
Yes. I just had one of those Camelback backpacks, like the straws, and it's just full of Monster. And I was just sitting there watching it until
I had a
3 in
rig
the morning.
where I was set up like Bane from Batman, where it just like injected into me.
So
There
you
you
get the
go.
idea. Yeah, absolutely.
On the other side, my son was determined that he was going to be able to stay up. And he passed out 15 minutes before kickoff. And I tried to wake him up, and he was out.
The universe already told him it was a 1-0
Yes.
loss, and he in his dreams says like, it's okay.
It said,
Sleep.
don't worry about it.
It's okay.
I
On the other hand, you could really guilt them like hardcore and be like, if you had just stayed up, there would have been one more source of energy cheering on our greens.
Yeah.
But you fell asleep and then we lost.
Yep.
You were the difference. But then that might inflate his ego, and he's like, you're right, I am the difference. That's what happened with my son anyway. He would, take it to a weird level. Oh, man. Okay. So last episode, great. We ended up having Kat Berry on. Got to talk a lot of soccer. Long episode, a good episode. Yes, the women's season is kicked off. But if you have not listened to that one, go back and check it out. Kat Berry was gracious enough to lend her time, and just great talk. It was just a great talk. It was fun having her on, and she had so many cool insights, things that, normally we don't really get to hear about or don't get the full scope of. And so that was a sick one. I was really happy that we got to have her on, and then she turned around and banged in a goal to celebrate, I guess, which is great. I think let's start with the women's team.
I was going to say that too.
I mean, like, if you don't say that, then what the heck? Why are you still not powered by her? What a game. That was like a wild ride, right? And, looking at our short off season, I feel like it was kind of short. Not really, but it just was zooming by, I think, because we had all the pieces in place, and, we have pretty much all of our starters back, and you start wondering, like, okay, are we going to just hit the ground running? Has everybody else prepared for what we've got coming their way and picked up these new players or new coaches or new just, technical, tactical things that they're going to try and employ against us? You never really know heading into a season. And it's kind of exciting, right? Because then you're like, all right, well, maybe somebody's going to start bringing the heat, and this will be just a really cool short season for us to compete in and see what happens. Brooklyn gave me a bit of that vibe in the first half.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but they were kind of like holding us off pretty solidly in that first half. We had some good opportunities, but they put up a way stronger fight, at least in the first 45.
Yeah, I think in the first half we were really focusing on using Kenzie and the left side of our attack. And then, Kaz even said this in the post-game interviews. In the second half, he was like, AB has been open. Let's use her. And that really unlocked the game once AB got unlocked. Then we said, all the goals start to get in. And not only was AB involved in those goals, but Pantuza was also involved in those goals. So both defenders having, a fantastic, start of the season, like already in form, it was great.
And the effort showed because Pantuza was voted player of the match. So, yeah, I agree. She did. Everyone did awesome. It was definitely interesting feeling out the dynamic or the new dynamic, especially with the new players, and not really sure how well they were going to fit. But and I think there were definitely a few moments where it's like, that weren't the best, but
right.
But I feel like everyone really bounced back really well, especially in the second half. And I think it definitely came together a lot more. I mean, clearly whatever they were doing worked. So
yeah, I agree. And like that first half, it was kind of almost like we were just letting the waves crash against us too, which I think, we were even chatting about this during the match. We're like, man, I don't know if Brooklyn's going to have enough gas to finish out this game, even with subs. And I think that just kind of was a testament to who we are as a team, that we just weathered that. And then that second half, we came out and we're like, we're not tired of you. Like you guys were running, 500 miles an hour whenever it was, 91 degrees, 1,000,000% humidity. And looks like the sun's down now in the second half. So we're going to decide to turn it up a notch, which maybe that was tactical. Maybe it was just, those changes that you need to take and make at halftime to see what happens. But, Jessica, you mentioned the new players. It was really interesting to me that we got to see so many of our new faces in action.
Yeah.
And not only that, but even a lot of our like subs from last year got to feature pretty heavily, honestly. Like we did a lot of substitutes, which it was nice as a fan to just see where those cogs fit in the machine, because we're so used to that starting 11 and the flow and the vibe they have with each other. Now we can't really put out that same starting 11 because of, the changes that we've made here and there. And, also, obviously we had Gracie Falla, who had her very first pro start ever, which was really neat.
She did good too.
Right.
Yeah. I thought she had a fantastic start.
Because I think we were all expecting Styglider, and
Yeah.
we were like, oh yeah, it's for sure going to be Styglider out there. But, something must have happened because I don't know.
She wasn't even in the 18.
Yeah. And I don't even know a single reason why she wouldn't be, unless it was like injury or something else that, is happening. But, Gracie did a great job while she was out there. I hope that we see Styglider again because, she came in such a pivotal role in that final match that we had. And, she proved herself time and time again after joining us. There's so much to break down with all these different players. And I think maybe we can kind of zero in on like her and Katie Murray because they were kind of linchpins. Ryan Campbell, she's new to the mix, which she really didn't have to work super hard. Honestly, like we did a pretty good job of keeping Brooklyn out of her face, which was great. Like just like on the whole, like how are you guys feeling about those three in the mix?
I felt pretty good overall, like about Gracie and Ryan Campbell. Like I felt pretty strong. Like I think those were really good standout performances in their debut. Obviously, Ryan, didn't have to do much, but like, that's to the defense of Gracie and Allie and, Bourgeois, who are, standout players, and, Allie Brown as well. Murray, I feel like kind of had like the worst of those three, and I think that's just a product of the position. There's a lot more to do. And she's very mobile, and, she is going to play like a very mobile role, it seems. And I think that's just going to come with chemistry and time, right? Like I think those mistakes were just like lack of time with the team and lack of chemistry and familiarity with everyone else. I don't think it was really an indictment on her skill, know, as a player. I just think it was a, product of the time. And, she's also coming off an injury from last season as well at Spokane. So there's that factor as well. But yeah, I was really impressed with Gracie the most out of the three. If I were to like rank them, she would be my number one.
Yeah, I would agree. Well, and I think the hardest thing with Ryan is because the defense did so well, we didn't see a ton of as far as what she can really do under pressure. I think there were a couple opportunities where we got to see, and I think it's hard not to compare her with Kat because, I mean, Kat was a Golden Glove. She was fantastic. Loved having her on the team. And so I think there's definitely probably throughout the season that comparison regardless, even though like they're completely different people, but obviously. But I think a couple differences I've noticed is Kat was very loud. And Ryan, especially when they were on our side, she was vocal, but I feel like I mean, Kat, you could hear her from anywhere, I feel like. So that was just something I noticed. But she's still not afraid to like get in there on corners and, get physical when needed. So I think she'll still be really good for the team. But I think we'll really get to see how she is when we go against Carolina. Because I think starting off like and the whole season, they're going to be I feel like they're going to be our toughest opponent.
For sure.
I would agree with that. Them, and I'm sure Jacksonville's still plenty hungry. So those are two that I'm like very curious, like what's going to go down whenever the time comes and we have to face off with both of them. I think it'll be a battle for sure. Yeah, this is I would agree with you guys. And I think, like you said, Dylan, that's a great point about, Katie Murray and why maybe the connection was a little bit harder because that pivotal role that she's playing, super hard to be a central midfielder because like a lot of things are going to run through you. And so I think also a lot more eyes tend to be on you consistently because like you're in that action zone so often. I really like her play style. I think in my mind, she reminds me a lot of like Shea with the hustle. She's got like that Shea Moyer hustle and is just kind of everywhere, constantly trying to win the ball and make things happen, which is really neat because, we've all been fans of Shea's play style, that pure, just like grit and motor just to get things done was always something that added that special sauce to the team, and I think that with some more gelling, she could be somebody that leaves like a huge impact on our squad. But yeah, like overall, aside from like that first 45 where we were just kind of having to let them like smash against us and eventually break, that second half, we just got so much more efficient with our time with the ball. And I just feel that we were constantly just tweaking things just enough to cause a little bit of confusion on their end and get those chances to actually count, because I think we had like 13 shots to their 9, but we were way more efficient with our shooting accuracy and actually being dangerous in those moments. And I think that one of the cool like parts of this match too is you just saw how much that connection built from last season, and those players that were, back in the mix, just dropping dimes to each other, or even like the instinctual positioning of Kat Berry. So whenever that ball was first initially saved, to be there and be ready to, slam the ball into the net and get us that goal. I think that was cool that we started seeing a lot of that in the second half. And I think that just kind of showed we just needed to, I don't know if I'd say shake the rust off, but we weren't like rusty as I've seen some teams, but you could definitely tell like we're like, oh, we're coming off of like an off season. This is our first like actual game that's against opponents that, the results matter. We've got a couple new faces here. And then it seems like by the second half, they smoothed a whole lot of that out.
Yeah, for sure. One thing I noticed was in the first half, I thought the set pieces we were kind of doing too much. I thought,
with the multiple passes out and in, and
we were doing too much with that. And then in the second half on set pieces, corners, we were taking them more simple and, straightforward. And, then we were getting goals and, then we were getting good chances and everything was leading up in a better way. I just feel like you said, we just ironed things out at halftime and we were like, hey, let's settle down. Let's do this instead of what we were doing, and this will work, and that's pretty much how it was.
Yeah,
absolutely.
The goals were really well done too. Like Like you said, Katz was like pure striker, instinctual, just being there. Great goal. Addie's was awesome too, like Pantuzo finding her on that pass, and then Addie being able to just finish it. And then the Hannah White goal was really well done too, just like off the volley. Really, really nice, quick goal, really, really clean. So those are really, really nice. I'll be interested to see which one of those, if any, get nominated for goal of the week.
Yeah, 1,000,000%, man.
They've got 3 to choose from for Lexington.
Yep, so good. Like, oh man, that was like probably the best, because just sitting there looking at the standings, I know other teams snag some wins, but us being able to go up on goal differential already, it just feels like we're like picking up where we left off. And I know it was against Brooklyn, and I don't know what it is. Like, okay, I don't know if you guys had this like thought, but it struck me. Like, you know how, and I know that it was more forced as a rivalry, but we have like the whole thing with Knoxville in our history where it's just like we could never beat them, and it was just like, what the heck? And so it got to a point where sometimes fans were just like, whatever. Like, whatever. We're playing Knoxville. Who cares? I'm not going to put too much stock in this. I wonder if Brooklyn's gotten beaten down bad enough to start feeling that way with the record we have against them, where now they're just like,
they were pretty physical out there.
Oh yeah, for real. But I'm just saying, like, even just the fan base being like, oh great, we're playing Lexington again. Whereas for us, they're just kind of like, oh, okay, it's Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Because it's cool to have that type of dominance over a team, because we don't normally get to enjoy that.
Well, and it doesn't help that the club's meme game.
Yes,
I would say in my opinion, like, I think they are funny in the moment, but at the same time, I'm like, oh, that's pretty harsh.
Yeah,
but
I know.
I mean, but when we've beat them 5 times in a row, so at the same time.
Yeah. Like, I mean, what are you gonna do? You gotta take your licks,
Yeah.
We had to. We got memeified so many times in our history. So I'm like, you know what? I don't really feel bad, win some, and then we can maybe fix that. It's almost like our maybe like our release, thinking about all these teams that like we go against, and it's just like, why? And then I'm like, oh, okay, Brooklyn. I feel a little bit better about myself now, just in those moments. That's it's cool to have that level of dominance with them. And it is like, I had this like weird moment too during the match where they were trying so hard in the first half against us that part of me like felt a little bad. The second half came around and we were just like, go, go, go. And I'm like, poor Brooklyn. You guys really were out there giving it like 1,000,000%, and, definitely throwing every ounce of your power behind those punches into the kidney and everything. They're so physical.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't know. Can you think of a more physical team off the top of your head in the Super League? They get a little.
Tampa last season was pretty physical.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like Brooklyn's been this way long,
Brooklyn's
every match.
Yeah, I feel like Brooklyn for sure.
Yeah, because that one, I agree about Tampa. I think that was like frustration from like their season not going good or something, because I don't recall that before last season. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I love how when we score one, it's just opening the door for other goals to come. It's not like we're just a one and done team when we score. We're just, all right, better hunker down because we're going to score more on you.
Yeah. I mean, true.
I honestly feel like we could have scored more, though. There were a couple opportunities where it's like,
oh man, like the offside one from Sarah.
Yeah, and then when Kat acts like,
Yep, right over.
Yeah,
I know, like the Sarah Griffith one. I was like, yeah.
Oh, I know.
Oh, the Sarah Griffith one. That one.
Austin's behind me, like punching me in the shoulder. He's like, "No goal, no goal." I'm like, "Stop! Just let me live in this dreamland for a while longer, Austin." Yeah. Oh, that one hurt because it was so pretty.
It was so good.
So good, so clean.
gosh,
Mhm.
like that exact spot that you tell players to shoot for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just had that zip to it, and
Yeah.
phew, man. I'm glad we got those other three though, because they were pretty, and you just think about us getting that type of start. I feel good. I feel
Yeah,
good
I
going
do
into
too.
this. I even felt good when we put in our subs. You put in our subs and we scored, you know? Um, and
Yeah.
like honestly, like somebody I thought out of our subs that had a pretty solid game was Hannah White. Like I do feel like she was
Yeah.
like hustling really hard, and she was in the right place at the right time so often. She,
Yeah.
right now she's somebody that's been with us for a while, but she's always coming off the bench. But that was a lot of hustle that she showed to make things happen and kind of keep that pressure on for us, because we did make all those subs, and notably, Brooklyn was getting a few more chances to be right there in our face. Like, I think that's
Mhm.
when we had some of our biggest scares of the match was at that point, which, with our subs, it kind of seemed like Costco was doing like a like for like situation and trying to get the same general like setup as when we started, and just say like, hey, we're not going to park the bus, but at the same time, maybe be like kind of a neutral setup. If you see your chance, take it, but don't give anything up at the same time. But even still with Brooklyn getting a few more chances with them out there on the field, I thought it was nice to see so much of them, because, I really, 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 it's a short season. So hopefully we don't end up in like a battle of attrition where like the season wanes on and you're like, oh man, somebody's picked up this knock or this and that. But it is nice, even though it's a short season, to see them get more time to really shine together. And I feel like that's just a recipe to get them closer to that starting 11 as a unit. So hopefully we're at the point where we do that like line change and there's the most minimal drop off, if none,
Yeah.
because I don't feel like it's a giant gap. I don't feel like it's such a massive drop off whenever we do our subs individually, but when we like sub them all together, and I don't think it's necessarily a talent thing. I just think it's they clearly and obviously have less playing time together in real match situations versus our starters who get to play about 70 minutes with that core crew. But it'd be cool if this kind of plays out in similar matches where we see quite a bit of them, and then we have a really, really strong secondary unit.
Yeah, I had a similar thought as well about it. I feel like when we do start subbing, obviously, it's good to get fresh legs in there. I think it helps kind of pick everybody back up, and keep everyone like really engaged. But there is still that like, ooh, but you're changing something, so
Yeah,
there's still that like a little. It makes you a little
a
nervous
little hiccup.
at the same time. Yeah. And so, but I totally agree with you. I had the same exact thought where it felt like it honestly didn't make much of a difference. And it was definitely a strength in the game as far as how it helped, like, just, push us forward a little bit more. And one other thought I had too is, and I know they kind of played around with this in the spring, but moving Hannah Johnson to the wing on midfield, I feel like that's been a pretty good move, as well. I feel like anytime she's been over there, as compared to like when they had her as left back, like I feel like she's done really awesome.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Like, I think it's a cool switch up, and she plays with a lot of intensity.
Yeah.
She's pretty fast,
Yeah.
and I still think even when they put her on the wing, she gives me vibes that she's still a little bit defensive minded, more so than like a traditional wing.
Yeah.
But I just see glimpses of that. But sometimes I think that's a really, really nice thing to have, because we have talented, fullbacks that you give them that space, you kind of buy that room for them for an overlap or whatever it is that they're trying to do out there on the outside. It's cool to have somebody playing in that wing spot that is a very capable winger, but then also has those tendencies to still help out in the early stages of that build up so well.
Yeah, I think so many of our players have just they're already playing a like in form, and so many of them are just such strong, excellent performers. And if one's having an off day, you can sub them off, but like usually they don't have off days. It's just like it just doesn't really matter. Like it's just
Mm-hmm.
anyone can do it, and like we said at the top, like we were kind of worried not seeing Sky Glider in there, but then
Mm-hmm.
it didn't even really matter. Like at the end of
Yeah.
the day, we were still a really good team and still really good defense. Obviously, we'd love to see her back. That's not taking anything away from her. It's just the testament to the squad and what we have here.
Right.
Man, they're just really good. And like, I don't know, Sarah Griffith had a great game too, even though
Oh yeah.
she didn't show up on
Crushed it.
this on the sheet, but like she played really well. And I feel like she plays really well against the physical players. I feel like
Yep.
she can outmaneuver a lot of that really well, and it's really nice. And I don't know, I'm glad to see her. I'm glad to see her starting, because I think some people were kind of worried that some of the new additions would take her place, but I was super pumped to see her starting.
Absolutely deserves that.
She's on the roster page in the new kit now, not the green one.
Yeah. Perfect. She is like, she's such a cool addition, and I absolutely love like looking at the setup with her opposite of Kinsey Weinert, because Kinsey Weinert's like that. I'm gonna burn you on speed, and then I'll hit you with a little bit of techers, and then finish you off. But then like Sarah is so good in like those tight spaces, and she's just like a dog. Like and like if somebody takes the ball from her, or she's trying to win it back, she's on them and just like not aggressive in that way that makes you cringe a little bit. And you're like, oh, chill out a little bit. You're going to get a yellow. It's like that really controlled. I'm going to get the ball back, and then I'm going to be able to do something with it, because I'm not just being like a reckless tornado.
Yeah.
I'm excited that, because like you said, Dylan, a lot of people were like, hey, why isn't she on media day and all that? And so they start speculating and freaking out a little bit, which rightfully so.
I was.
I don't think anybody wanted nobody wanted to lose Sarah. She's such a talented player. And it's cool even when you think back to her being like a trialist, a year ago, and then turns into this type of clutch player.
Man,
you love those type of stories. They're just cool. So I feel pretty emboldened by this first match.
Absolutely.
And you guys know me, like, and I think everybody probably feels the same way. I love dominant matches where the full 90, you're the one in control and it's clear and you're that team. But I really, really love when you can tell the first half wasn't working like you wanted it to, and you come out second half and you're like, oh, it's going to get flipped around. Like, I think that is more telling of a talented coaching staff and team than just full 90-minute dominance.
Being a second half team is so huge, in any sport, and especially soccer. If you can make those tactical changes at halftime like they did, and you pretty much just own the rest of the game, if you score 3 goals in every second half, that's great.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I feel like, and I don't want to get misunderstood, because like I get it, like sometimes tactics are what win you that full 90 battle, the whole time you're in control. But I feel like sometimes you can just be like, well, it's just because it was a more talented team. You have more talented athletes, so of course you're dominating for 90. But then like this type of game where you see the shift from the first 45 to the second, it's so telling. We I think never left, right? Like, there was no such thing as an off season for our team, based on just seeing how they connected with one another. It's not just the 3-0. I mean, that was nice and everything, but just how well they came back and then smoothed things out within 45 minutes. And then we're like, okay, this is who we are and what we do. And man, DC better watch out.
They really do.
We have a little bit of rest too in between, right? So rest up, keep those reps going a little bit in those practices, and keep the train rolling. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm ready to see some more from some of these other teams too, though, because I am curious if we're gonna like find some like weird, like lurking in the shadows nemesis that nobody really suspects, and then all of a sudden it's just gonna start cooking at some point, and then make us be like, all right, you're the ones to take out this time.
I don't know if it's necessarily going to be like that, but I feel like the bar is definitely raised from last season in every team. So I do feel like, I feel like DC is probably going to give us more of a battle than what they would have previously given us, if I'm being honest. I don't think it will necessarily be as much as a cakewalk, than it would normally be. And I think the tighter season makes every game so much more important. And, it obviously does. That's like redundant to say, like whatever. But like the players know that, and so they play more intensely. They really fight for those 3 points, because those 3 points matter. So DC is going to be wanting it just as much as we are.
Yeah, I 100% agree, because I think I look at these results, and of course you had some teams drop points, but it's just a new season with new players for so many of these teams. And I think that sometimes I catch myself being like, well, we basically have the same people. So I'm sure a lot of people on other teams stayed, but then you kind of look through the roster and you're like, whoa, I know we were talking a lot about how Dallas just was like, goodbye, everybody. We'll see you all next time. Even like big names that you thought like, oh, they might try and hang on to them. I think that this season will have a lot of like big surprises and roller coasters. Like, you mentioned it, Dylan, like the shortened season. I think everybody's just going to be like, let's go. Like, it's gonna be fast and furious time.
Yeah. I think even like looking at the results across the league, like kind of showed that too. Like the games were kind of tight. I feel like the only one that wasn't tight was ours.
Was. We were the only ones that decided to make a statement in day one.
Yeah.
That was wild to me, because I was sitting there waiting to see like who would win by more than 3. Because I feel like we always have those. Like the last 2 seasons, there's always like that random game to open the season where it's like a 4-1 or like a 5-1 or like something weird. So yeah, that surprised me. I was very happy though.
Oh yeah,
it's like absolute small potatoes, but it was just fun to come off of a championship and be like, hey, we're first in week 1. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
So speaking of roster changes, since the last time we recorded, they announced Daria Raji is on loan with Tampa, and she did the start in this past weekend. And then, I mean, obviously they'd already been loaned out or off the roster, but they'd also announced Amina Ekic. Where I forgot
to Parma, Anna Sharts. Yeah. So which is cool that they linked up.
Yeah, I think that is really cool. I am a little surprised though. Like I as far as Amina, I wonder if it just wasn't going. Where was she? Was with Dallas, right?
Houston
Dash. It was a Texas team.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm just getting it all wrong.
Houston just decided to lose their minds and forget that she's awesome.
They paid a lot of money for her.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Then, I don't know. It's very
Am
surprising.
I missing anyone else?
I think that was the only departure since we were last together. Man, Fort Lauderdale is just like slowly absorbing LSC, just like bit by bit. Like, what is that? 3 players now? Is that correct?
It's just
Shay and Nicole.
And
then Daria went to Tampa. So so Florida.
But I feel like like Fort Lauderdale is kind of getting weird. Like Florida in general, maybe that's what I'm thinking more. Is just Florida in general is like, I don't know, but I guess that's gonna happen in this league and stuff. Which maybe I was thinking about Fort Lauderdale because Shay and Nicole got the start for them. Which that's super cool. That's real neat that they got that link up. Yeah. That's I feel with Daria, I really liked what she brought to the table. I feel like that position in general, though, was just so strange throughout the season. That was the revolving door.
Yes.
You know? And I know you could argue that with the wings, but the wings I feel like was more of a tactical thing. It was just like teams are going to expect this combo, but guess what? They're getting this combo. Whereas, right there next to Taylor was just like, okay, that's going to be this person, now this person, now this. And I thought Daria did a good job seeing us out through the season. And thinking about right now, it seems like Katie Murray is taking that spot over her. But it kind of loops back to our original conversation about her, right? I think it's going to take some time before we can truly eke out, was that an upgrade in that position? Was it a like for like? Do you want to see somebody else different? So I think it's going to take a lot of time before we can really determine if the Daria situation is like, oh no, what have we done? Or like, okay, that's fine. She's talented and she needs minutes too and deserves those.
It'll be interesting. You kind of alluded to there, Tyler. Like, what if next game Murray doesn't start in that position and it's someone else? We don't know. Obviously, we'll have to see. But I will assume that she'll start again. That's my assumption.
I would think so. Yeah.
I think we'll use the same starting lineup.
The only thing I would think we would change is if Steiglider's back. That's the only thing I think we would change. Other than that, I think we roll out same lineup. And honestly, that's nothing against Gracie. Honestly, that's really nothing against her. I've already said it a couple times. Thought she had a really great performance. I just think that's Steiglider's spot.
Yeah, that's her spot to lose.
But hey, we said that about Hannah Shorts.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
I know. Yeah.
And she's playing in Italy with Amina now. So
right.
What do I know?
We know nothing. Just name this the Jon Snow podcast. Yeah. Sorry, that was bad. I'm losing my mind. Yeah. I'm ready to kind of figure that out though, and I hope we're very pleasantly surprised. If it turns out that she's a, like for like situation, I'm cool with that 100%. I thought Daria was great, and then if she's turns out to be an upgrade in some way, then awesome. I do think it is exciting to see that really, really fast paced play in the middle though. I think that'll be really good because Taylor Almer is so methodical and she, is always mapping things out. You could tell she's trying to control the flow of the game. So then having that, that extra midfielder just zipping around everywhere just adds a new dynamic. But yeah, it's all these things considered. I think we're still good, and I still feel good about this season.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, I think there's a lot of players that we're always gonna miss, no matter what, if it's a loan, if it's a permanent leave. But at the end of the day, if we can, as a club, keep moving forward and doing great things, I just think that something we can start to chalk up to just that web of connection, and it doesn't have to be they're gone piece, but be okay, that's cool. They built this and they helped bring this to the table. So. I'm excited for more. Excited for more from this team. Crowd. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad for and I hate to say this, but we have to say it for one of our women's matches. It wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad, but I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
Me too. I was really hopeful that a lot more people would show up, especially because they did the deal where if you have kids under 12, they get free tickets. And I think a lot of families did capitalize on that. I know we did, but then my son got sick. So we had to leave him behind. But I just think it's kind of a shame that even with that, more people wouldn't come after. it was a great crowd for the championship.
Yes.
And we won everything. And I don't know. I don't know what more. I don't know if it's just we need even more marketing. We need even more them on the billboard. You know what I mean? Instead of seeing our men's players, we need to start putting our women's players on there because they've had several months to be out there and on display. But the women's season is kicking off. So, I mean, it'd be really cool to see giant billboard with Kat Berry or Ali Pantuso or a whole team shot or whatever it takes to make that happen and get some eyes on it. But
Yeah.
I think they got to market towards different groups of people
Yeah.
too. You
yes,
can't keep marketing towards the same groups of people.
Yeah.
You got to market towards women, also,
yeah,
um,
yeah,
I feel like they're kind of not capitalizing on a great product that they have and great people who are, fantastic representatives of the city, like Kat Berry and Alison Pantuzo. These are great players who represent the club so, fantastically, and
Mhm.
I think highlighting them, would definitely get more people involved and get people in seats.
yeah.
Agreed. Fortunately, the next game is free admission, and I know there is a youth tournament going on there that day. So hopefully that would. So I mean, yeah. So smart on them for making it free admission, and it's the vintage market as well. So I'm hoping that really draws in a lot of crowds too. My only concern is if families are like, we've been watching soccer all day, I'm tired.
Yeah.
Or they'll be like, well, I want to go have a seat and chill between games.
Yeah. That could be the alternative.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope it works out in our favor. I really
do too.
We just, gosh, again, it was an improvement from a lot of our attendance in the last 2 seasons, but it just makes my skin crawl when I don't see the stands as full.
I know.
For the women as the men. And also I get that it was super hot.
It
was gross and sweaty, and yeah, I understand. But for the free ticket match, that has to be packed. Like why not? No reason.
Yeah.
Like force people to come with you. Like I have tickets. You're coming with me.
Williams' team is gonna be there, and I'm like legitimately gonna be like, let's go.
Yeah.
Unless he has a game at 1, in which case I'll be really sad.
Oh, yeah. That would be terrible. Well, he'll have other games, Jessica. No, I'm terrible. I'm just kidding. Support your children. That's the good thing to do. Don't listen to me.
I'll just make sure hopefully he's playing on a field where I could see the game, and
I'll FaceTime you.
Yeah, there you go.
Field view. Yeah, okay. Consensus, women are back.
Yeah.
Never left.
Nope.
It's a lock. We're doing this.
Let's go.
You guys want to chat about the men's game? It kind of felt like a weird, like feverish nightmare because it was like 1 a.m. and I'm like, what's happening? Why am I sad?
Why is it so blurry?
Yeah. Oh gosh, that feed. That ESPN's always bad, but that one was terrible. I couldn't watch so much of the match because of that. Can we just already move everything over to Peacock? ESPN, come on. It's been trash for so long. Back when we were in like USL 1, I'm like, probably just comes with the territory, third tier soccer, whatever. But now at this point, I'm like, no, unacceptable.
Yeah.
Let's get this going. Like put somebody in charge that can give us a clear, consistent feed for our matches. Ugh.
I know.
So bad.
It's so annoying. And it sucks that we had to like stay up for that,
Yeah.
Yep. I know.
But it's weird, like I don't even feel like we played bad. It just was like that one moment, that really, and obviously that defines the whole game, that one moment. It, sadly defines the whole game and makes that whole trip out there, worthless. But other than that, like, I feel like we were trying, we had good chances. They just obviously didn't connect. I don't know. We had good possession too, right? Like I don't know the stats off my head.
40-60, so it was okay.
Yeah. So I don't know.
But we only had 3 shots, 0 on goal.
That is the big thing.
11.
Yes, and the amount of like touches we had in the opposition box was really bad, and like how many they had was even worse.
Yeah, 23-7.
That one also got really chippy. Like
yeah,
like the Goodrum, like
he was
maniacal, like
clapping in their face.
Not gonna lie, that gave me a good chuckle.
That was funny. And Dylan, you said we didn't really play bad, and I'd agree with that. I think we struggled to find our offense. We struggled to do even not just from a perspective of us rattling off these stats about they couldn't get into the box and they didn't take very many shots. Even just building up out of the midfield just stagnated so often in this one, except for a couple really great chances. Like that one with Braudilio, where I thought for sure he was gonna bury that, and I was like, oh, he broke through. But I will give us credit defensively. We had a lot of nail biter, insane clutch moves from the team. They were doing everything to stop the ball. There were so many times where people were just chucking their bodies into space to stop it. One scene that I remember is that one where they kept shooting and it just kept ricocheting off of people, and then it ricochets off of Aaron Malloy finally and goes out of play. And then he celebrates he just scored, because he essentially did, in the sense that he stopped a goal from going in on us. But
there's the other one where Semley came out really far too. So a bunch of our guys went back into the net just to defend. Or
Zingue with that crazy tackle. Burks. Everybody was on fire defensively. This was unfortunately, like you said, it was a matter of time. It was just, if you're going to get attacked that often over 90 plus minutes, chances are getting slim that you're coming out of that without getting scored on. And those are just facts. If you cannot pressure other teams and make them feel like, ooh, we need to kind of be careful, they're just going to hammer you the whole 90 minutes with attacks and not really let up. And I know that we did an amazing job defensively throughout this match, but like you said, Dylan, it takes just one.
Yeah. It's really weird. I don't feel I know we didn't win.
Yeah.
And, we didn't perform well offensively enough to, make it, make it challenging for them. But defensively, we played really well. Like we said, I didn't walk away from the loss feeling too terrible. I still feel like we can do something. And, comparatively to last year, with Boss, after a loss like this, I would have been the season's chalked, really. But I do feel better, right now with Mac and how we've played the last few games, and, how we've responded to losses too has been pretty positive over the course of the season too. So I feel okay. I'm not too worried about this loss, but.
And I mean, we're still just 3 points out of what, fourth? 3 points, and we're in fourth place, and that's with a team that has one more game played than us. So, we said it, you can't mince words. Every point is starting to count big at this particular junction. But I did not feel particularly upset, and it could have just been the women's team effect. It could be that I just watched the women's.
That's
team.
True.
Yeah,
that is a really good point.
Scored 3 goals, and so then I came home and I was already elated from that, and so then the sadness from the men's team was kind of dampened by how tired I was, yet how excited I was about the women's match. And but I mean, I truly, if you look at it through the scope of, if this loss had happened at any other point in the season, I don't think people would be terribly upset. If you truly watched our performance and how clutch we were on defense, and the fact that it was away, it was only 1-0, I think that you could probably put a silver lining on some of those things at other points in the season. Right now, I think it does sting just because it's so tight in the West. We're struggling to pull away from teams because everybody's struggling to pull away. And so that really sucks. But I don't feel, doom-ridden about this. I'm it's okay. Again, 3 points out of fourth with a game in hand. Everybody's going to keep clawing, but it's not like we've pulled so far away from that playoff spot that we should be worried at all. And we've had too many games in a row where we've really proven that we can do this and we can go toe to toe with teams. It's just a matter of showing up big for these upcoming matches, and they're not going to be easy ones. That's for sure. Because again, everybody's in kind of the same situation where they're looking at that board and be like, we got to make sure we get some points off of these people. Otherwise, things are going to get really tough on that last day. And, Las Vegas has given us trouble. We talked about this in the last episode that Las Vegas has been tough for us, even whenever they don't particularly do amazing. They've won 2, they've drawn with us once, and we've won 0. So this will be a cool one to show like we can rebound and do what we got to do, especially at home.
Yeah. For sure.
When we're looking back at our losses, where are these opponents in the standings?
Oh, like if we're going like further back and checking them now?
Yeah, I would say like more recently, in the last few losses.
Yeah, I mean, if we look at like the last few losses, so what we had Sacramento most recently, they're in 5th, but that's only by 2 points away from us.
We tied
New
with
Mexico's
Tulsa.
2nd, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
New Mexico's 2nd, 33, so they got a little bit of weight. So they're doing pretty solid on their end. And then what was our other last one?
Our last loss has
Indy 11, way back. Yeah, who really is no concern to us until it's playoff time. Unless they want to do us some favors and beat up on Western Conference teams. So, I mean, you're going to lose every once in a while. And, I think that we're doing okay. I don't think that we need to all be like Louisville fans and it's like, oh no, we lost the match. Sell the club right now. Sorry, but it's true. There's so many people like complaining about how they're doing it. It's kind of hilarious. I'm like, man, what a charmed life. Walk a mile in our shoes with no sole and missing laces and whatever else. Yeah, I'm really not freaked out though. I'm really not freaked out about this.
No.
And I hope we don't have a lot of people that are, because I just don't think there's really any reason. It wasn't another 4-1. We did have a great defensive performance. If you just watch it careful enough, you can find that and be like, okay, all right, yeah, that's fair. And I think some other teams, we end up getting a point at least off of that. I mean, we almost got one off of Sacramento. It was right down to the wire because we had been doing what we needed to do. And, it just sometimes soccer is cruel like that. And you just got to overcome and go to the next one on this. I know one thing that happened in the match that everybody was like really confused about was Cello to Santrit, how he was on for like 8 minutes. I don't know how accurate it is, but like on FOTMob it has him being subbed out due to injury, but that could be incorrect. I don't know. But if it wasn't because of injury, that was really strange.
Yeah.
Have him out there for like, I think it was like somewhere around 8 minutes or so, 8 or 9.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Maybe I was just tired and I didn't recognize it, but I didn't see him playing poorly and I didn't see what happened that would have caused an injury. And I could have just missed it, in the 2 seconds that I'm sitting there trying to finish my last 4 ounces of Monster and my eyes start to drift. And before I know it, I'm like, wait a second, what just happened? Yeah. I mean, do you guys recall anything on either front? Yeah. So
no, it's really hard to say.
Right. Yeah. Because I know for one thing, like if it wasn't like an injury related thing and it was kind of like, oh man, you're stinking it up out there, I would feel some type of way as a player. Even if I'm a younger player on loan, I'd be like, whoa, you didn't even give me like 20 minutes to figure it out. But I'm sure it's probably for some other reason, like an injury. You never know. FOTMob has done me dirty many a times, so who knows if they know what they're talking about. It's possible. but I still think he's, from what I can tell, he's somebody that could really be an addition to this team and serve a strong purpose while he's here. So I hope that, number one, he's not injured. Number two, he's not in the doghouse, and we can see a little bit more of him.
Wonder if we'll ever see Fry.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm curious about that too, because I was kind of excited to see what he had to offer for us, but then it's just been crickets ever since they announced that he was coming. Yeah, I'm really perplexed about that. If something's up with the deal, if there's something up personally, if there's just, some sort of hang up that we've not thought of. Because again, I think it would be exciting to see what he has to offer. Like, he's one of those players that, don't know a lot about unless you really watch a lot of New England Revolution 2, and seeing what he's got for us could be cool. Because I always think back to Blaine Ferry. You know what I mean? He was one of those players that were just kind of like, not as young or inexperienced, but still, like, you think he gets brought in and you're like, oh, I'm kind of curious. And then boom, before you know it, he's a mainstay and everybody's loving what he's doing out there on the field. So that's always exciting to think that maybe we've brought in somebody that's like that, and then that loan could turn into something more permanent. But we got to see him play first, see if that's even a thing.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, it's really unfortunate, going back to Chantrette, like, when we get these players and then we don't get to see them play, and it goes for Fry. It's really unfortunate that we get these players and we don't get to see them play. So, yeah.
Yeah. And I think sometimes with the younger players, like, I kind of get the methodology that you're like, all right, they can probably serve as a really strong presence as like a late game sub, and then maybe they keep developing and we finally have somebody that we've managed to turn into somebody that's the equivalent of who they've been replacing this whole time. But yeah, I'm curious if we'll see more of either of them or any at all.
Yeah.
Malcolm Fry, because I wish the club would at least put out something if they're able. I know sometimes their hands are tied with different things, but I wish they would be like, don't worry, still coming, or actually no, that's not happening anymore, and whatevs. But
yeah,
they'll probably, I don't know, say something when they say something, I guess. I don't know. Something in this game too that I really noticed when I was watching. Do you guys not love it how much Aaron Malloy celebrates for the most just like random things, like anything that goes our way? He acts like he's ready to run through a brick wall. And like, I would maybe argue that he's probably our most outwardly passionate player that we've had on the men's side in our club history, where it's just like every little thing. Like, he makes like a cool tackle and then he gets up and he's like, blocks a shot, whips in a ball, and I'm like, yes, Aaron Malloy, I agree, man. I too am hype about everything that's happening right now. It's I love that. I love that energy and I love that vibe. And I know that doesn't mean like, not every player is necessarily willing to be like that outward, display of, I'm super pumped up and excited. A lot of people keep their calm and it's all internal. And after the match, that's when they'll explode and really be like, we did that. But I do really, really find myself being fond of players like Aaron Malloy, that everything is like a hype session. Because I think that's great for energy, especially seeing that from your captain. He already goes toe-to-toe with refs. He'll go toe-to-toe with players. He'll keep everybody lined out and say what he's got to say, which is amazing. And he knows what he's doing and where everybody should be and what they should be doing. But I think, like, when you have a captain that brings like those types of vibes about even the most small details, or what you would think are small details, because, we are used to people celebrating like that when they score, not whenever they make a clean tackle. I love it. It's the best.
I agree. It gets me excited.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I love seeing like that. Yeah, that outward passion from your players when they do stuff it's just infectious. Whether you're on the team or you're in the stands, it's so infectious and it's a good time. And I really enjoy having him as the captain of our team, just for like that level of hypeness that we can feel. It's good.
For sure. He's definitely a favorite of mine. And, I think he, when he does those actions. Like, he gets really pumped up for basically anything he does. I think that really goes to the crowd how much he cares, and that gets people into him as a player. So I think you're absolutely right, and man, like I think it just builds a confidence in him. Like at see as fans, anytime we see him with the ball, we're like, oh man, he could do something crazy with it. Like just shoot it. I think anytime people see him with the ball, they're like, just shoot it because he's a wizard and he can do anything with it.
100%, no fear.
And that just reminded me. So Catberry got a Dungeon Crawler Carl book, and Aaron Malloy is a fan of Red Rising. I know probably not there aren't as many people who've read Red Rising, but I think it'd be pretty cool to get him a Red Rising book.
Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, maybe that was something we should bring up on the Aaron Malloy interview. I'm just kidding. We don't have that lined up. But what if we did? But we don't. But what if we did? It's just him reading Red Rising to everybody. It's just him reading Red Rising. Just a read along with Aaron Malloy. We'll do it live. And then I'll just hold it up and show the pictures. Yeah. One day. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. This match, I don't know what else more to say about it. You know what I mean? Good defense. Couldn't crack offense. Unlucky to not hold out the full time. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I think, I think we've got the right mix and the right crew out there. I think that this showed me a little bit more who we can be on the defensive side of the ball. I just would like to see us be more consistent on the offensive side of the ball. And I know we have been. I know we've been good, but I just feel like when I say consistent, I guess I mean like consistently able to turn it around within a match and crack the code. Not so much like we have a bad offense and what are we doing? Because stats speak for themselves. We do pretty solid. But yeah, if we could just almost like maybe, I don't know, the whole being spoiled by the women's team, seeing how they were able to turn around. I'm like, man, I know the men can do it. I just need to see it more often for this because, again, I think there's 1,000,000% chance that, we win or not win, but at least get points off of this game if we were at least going toe-to-toe offensively and able to match that level of intensity that they had. But it's a good game overall. Dylan feels differently. He disappeared. His internet booted him.
No.
Didn't like what he had to say.
Oh,
hey, I got him. Hey,
I'm back.
Yep.
Something's up with my connection, but it doesn't matter. We're almost up.
Excuses.
You need more tinfoil. Put more tinfoil up. Oh, he put the tinfoil up and he froze. No. We got no women's match this coming weekend, correct?
Nope.
They got a little random bye week men's match at home against Las Vegas, right? And then we have a midweek match away.
Oh, we do.
Yeah.
Gosh, those are really close together.
Yeah. Going to New Mexico and then to Colorado. I guess
no, Colorado's home.
Oh yeah. Duh. I'm looking across that sideways. Yeah. So then we'll have Colorado and then Jacksonville. Our guaranteed.
I was gonna say
match.
So we got at least 3 points.
Our guaranteed match. Oh, you said that you're not supposed to say, Jessica. Now you're in it with me.
Wow,
Katie Beth.
You guys.
It happens. I tried to skirt around it. I actually baited them on purpose so I'd have somebody else in trouble with me. That's how I would do in school too. I could never be in trouble alone. I needed to make sure I have friends that were in trouble. No, that's a short turnaround, and that's a tough schedule for us to go through, and then knock out 3 matches in a week's time. But good a time as any to turn things around against Las Vegas and actually show that we can get a win off of them, come in good vibes to New Mexico, get points off of them, and then come back home against Colorado Springs and be able to do our thing. We're in this and we got this. It's all good. It's no sweat. So yeah, 2 home matches in that stretch in that same week, both on Saturdays. So the Wednesday one, again, 9:30 on a weeknight. Dang. Like, the West Coast should have to suffer. Do we all agree?
Yes.
That's their problem. It's you on a different time zone, like not us. Like, come on. No, that's selfish. That's selfish. It's very Eastern time zone superiority complex of me. So yeah, that'll be a late one. I don't know, that'll be tough, but I'm definitely staying up for that one. We're good. Do you feel any less confident because of this recent results with Las Vegas? I know we were talking last episode that might be tough, but that we could maybe do it. Or you think it's just like a blip?
I'm pretty confident over Vegas.
Yeah.
I'm not like overly confident. I just think that we are a good team. I'm really hoping that this was just like a anomaly game, and I don't want to beat a dead horse. We've already said it. I don't think we played terrible in that game, and it was only a 1-0 loss. So I really think that we can have a good game against Vegas, and I think we can win.
Yeah.
3 points chalked up. It's gonna happen. It's gonna go down. At least I believe it. For real. That was a really bad impersonation how that song goes. I don't think I missed anything. This is a slow week minus the games. Yeah. Congrats to Addie McCain being the first player in Super League history to reach 20 goals collectively across all season. Cat Berry is not far behind. Cat Berry's probably going to break that this season. Man, do you guys ever stop and just like sit there in the grass, staring up at the blue sky and thinking, man, how many more accolades are we going to get for Lexington Sporting Club women? Probably a billion, right?
I'm always like, I just hope it never ends.
Yeah. And then Cloud Mufasa appears and says, Tyler, the destiny is to win everything. And I'm like, sure thing, Mufasa. Don't know why you're here, man, but I agree. I gotta go to bed. It was a long day. Oh, geez. All right. Well, congrats to Addie McCain. It's a cool record to have to your name. You're the first. There will never be another first. So yet another amazing accolade for her. And not all with, but a lot of it with us. I mean, you can almost say all with it because a lot of her other goals were against us. Yeah. So we helped her no matter what. No matter what, we're a part of our story. The whole thing.
She couldn't have done it without LSC.
Couldn't have done it without LSC. We made that happen through our own support. No. Whew, yeah. Oh, geez. All right. Well, besides that, games coming up. Women's team, you have to wait a little bit longer. Men's team, you don't. Free match coming up for the women here soon. Go to it. Claim those tickets. Like, give them to anybody. I don't care if you give them to like somebody at the grocery store. Just be like, go to this game. And they're like, why are you trying to airdrop me things? Get suspicious. It's the whole thing. But now they have tickets to LSC. All right. Well, maybe we'll hear Kit news. Maybe we won't. That would be really cool.
Kit news.
I know. I really, really want some.
And more stuff in the merch shop with stars on them.
Yeah. Stars upon the R's or else. Or, I also floated this at the match to the team. Leslie, the merchandise manager, he just gets his own tattoo machine, and then he offers to tattoo people with a green star. I'm sure it's legal. I'm sure you don't really have to worry about zoning codes or.
I think you just have to sign a waiver.
Just sign a waiver and get tatted up by Leslie with a star.
Might get
how cool would that? How cool would that be if that was like event, like a
If they
vendor that
hired
set
an
up a tent.
artist from Lexington
next to the balloon animals.
and yeah.
Your kids get a balloon animal and you get
Honestly, if they did that, I would get one. I'm not
Oh,
even kidding.
Oh yeah. Yep. We're gonna see somebody sketchy set up in the parking lot before the first match, and Jessica will be like, "Are you with the club?" Yeah, totally. I'm with the club right now. Sitting outside of the gates with my tattoo machine. Oh no. We'll save you. Don't worry. We'll let that happen. All right, guys. Well, hey, keep that marked on your calendar for the women's team. Men's team, show up to the stables this weekend. Hopefully we're not all cooking alive like last weekend. I haven't checked the weather, so I'm just remaining hopeful. Okay. Until we see you back at the stables, you know what it is. Come on, you greens.